Hello dear student, welcome to HSC online lecture initiative taken by Shet Vidya Mandir English High School and Junior College of Science and Commerce. I am Ms. Ragini Singh, Assistant Lecturer of Biology. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is human reproduction. Now before I proceed with this, I request you all to be seated with the book, pen and pencil. Let's revise, let's recall something related to this chapter. Observe the diagram given below. Look at this first diagram where you can see the starfish. Second diagram where you can see the hydra budding out. And the third one where you can see that the sperm is fusing the egg. In all these three diagrams, you can see there is a reproduction taking place. The first and second diagram represents the asexual reproduction, whereas the third diagram represents the sexual reproduction. So your reproduction, what is the definition of reproduction? Reproduction is nothing but it means to re means to again, production means to produce. So reproduction is something to reproduce again. It is classified into two types, asexual and sexual reproduction. In this complete module, we are going to specify and study about the sexual reproduction. Whereas sexual reproduction involves the male and female gamete, that is the formation and fusion, whereas asexual does not require any of the gametes. Let us start with the first system, that is male reproductive system. What are gonads? The gonads are nothing but they are the primary sex organs. The male gonads is known as testes, whereas the female gonad is known as ovary. This is the male reproductive system. This is the female reproductive system. The male gonad represents this testes, whereas the female gonad is this ovary. It is this testes which produces or secretes the hormone, that is the testosterone, whereas this ovary secretes the hormone, that is the estrogen. Secondary sexual characters. The secondary sexual characters is developed at when you reach the puberty. So let us understand what is secondary sexual character at the puberty, that is in case of male and female. In case of male, the voice becomes much lower. In female, the breast grows, nipples enlarge. In case of male, hair start to grow on the chest, face, underarms and in pubic area. And similarly, all these things has been seen in case of female as well as. Male becomes more muscular. In case of female, hips become wider. The penis in case of male becomes larger. Uterus and vagina in case of female becomes larger. This is the very important point. Testes starts to produce sperm, whereas ovary starts to release eggs and period begin, that is the menstrual cycle, or we call it as menstruation. So these are the secondary sexual characters seen in case of male and female, and all this thing is seen in case of puberty, that is when male reaches the puberty and when the female reaches the puberty. Testes. Let us understand step by step the important terms related to the male reproductive system. The very first thing that we are going to study is testes. Now here if you see this fluorescent green color structure, or you can say this bluish color structure is called as the testes. Now this testes is actually enclosed in a sac-like structure called as scrotum. So testes are situated in scrotum, a pouch of pigmented skin arising from the lower abdominal wall. It consists of smooth muscles called dartos tunic muscle. Now what is the function of this smooth muscle? It is involuntary in function. It means the function of this smooth muscle is not under your control. It is divided into two compartments by muscle septum. See over here. In this diagram, clear cut you can see this is the external scrotum. Inside the scrotum there is presence of the testes. This testes is covered via dartos muscles, and this testes is covered with this scrotal sac, and this is actually divided into two compartments via this muscle septum, also called as the scrotal septum. Scrotum acts as a thermoregulator. Thermo means temperature, regulator means regulation of temperature. Testes are soft, smooth, pinkish, oval organs about 4.5 cm long, 2.5 cm wide and 3 cm thick. Testes are mesodermal in origin. We have already studied in 11th standard that when the sperm and egg meets, there is a formation of zygote and then there is a division and there is a result in the formation of 3 layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. The testes are basically mesodermal in origin and they are located outside the abdomen. They are suspended in scrotal sac by spermatic cord. Each testis is connected to the wall of scrotum by short fibromuscular band called gubernaculum. This is the lateral view of the testis. This is the testis. The testis is connected to this scrotal sac via band of connective tissue called as gubernaculum. And this testis, initially it is present inside the abdominal cavity, and when the 7 months of the mother gestation period starts, the testis slowly and steadily is descending in this scrotal sac. So this is actually descending via the help of this spermatic cord, and this spermatic cord consists of the blood vessels, that is arteries, veins and the nerves. Now what is testicles? Always remember, testes plus epididymis. I repeat, testes plus epididymis together is called as testicles. So this is the testes situated in the scrotal sac, also called as scrotum, and this blood vessels and nerve supply, that is the nerve fiber, together is called as the spermatic cord. Now this is the descendant of the testes. See, initially the testes is actually not descending downwards. When the 7th month, that is when the mother is conceived and her 7 months complete, this testis slowly and steadily it hangs down in this scrotal sac, and this cavity via which it is coming, it is called as the inguinal canal, and then slowly and steadily this testis comes over here at the down portion via the help of spermatic cord. The place where the reproductive organ is present, it is called as groin. I repeat, the place where the reproductive organ is present is called as groin. See, this is the normal position of the testes, and this testis has to slowly and steadily descend in the scrotal sac. But sometimes it happens that the testis is not descending in the scrotal sac, so it will leads to the sterility, and the failure of descendant of this testis into the scrotal sac is called cryptorchidism. See here, failure of testis from abdomen into scrotum leads to sterility. So if the testis is not descending down in the scrotal sac, it leads to the sterility, and the condition is called as cryptorchidism. Vasa differentia. Let us study one by one what is the structure related to the male reproductive organ. We just now completed with the testes part. If this white color wire sort of structure, the muscular tube like structure, is called as the vasa differentia. Now vasa differentia, if you see, it is a paired structure. One you can see at right side as well as left side, because you have two testes. So from two testes there will be the release of this vasa differentia. It is 40 centimeter long. It is joined by the duct from seminal vesicle to form ejaculatory ducts. See, this is the testis. Testis is covered via the epididymis. Testis plus epididymis together is called testicles, and here you can see this vas deferens. This vas deferens is joined from the seminal vesicle. This is the seminal vesicle. So this vas deferens and seminal vesicle will join to form this ejaculatory ducts. Ejaculatory duct, as the word itself means, it is going to ejaculate something. So it is about 2 centimeter long. It is formed by the vas deferens and duct of seminal vesicle. They carry seminal fluid and spermatozoa to the urethra. So this is the urethra, this is the seminal vesicle, this is the vas deferens. So joining of this vas deferens with this seminal vesicle at this point of ejaculatory ducts, and finally this ejaculatory duct will release its secretion into the urethra. Now what is urethra? Now the primary function of urethra in both male and female is to release the urine, but in case of male it also has a secondary function, that is the secretion of semen. It consists of three parts: prostatic urethra, membranous urethra and penile urethra. See, so this is the prostatic urethra because it is surrounded by the prostate gland. This is the membranous urethra, and whereas this is the penile urethra surrounded by the penis. Penis, it is a cylindrical, erectile and pendulous organ. It consists of two posterolateral tissues. Try to understand this word. Two posterolateral tissue called corpora cavernosa and median, that is corpus spongiosum. So two posterolateral, that is at the side there is a tissue called corpora cavernosa, and exactly in the middle there is corpus spongiosum. Near the tip of the penis, that is the corpus spongiosum, is enlarged to form a soft and highly sensitive glans penis. It is covered by a loose retractable fold of skin called prepuce or foreskin. Penis function as a copulatory organ. Copulatory organ means during the time of the intercourse there will be the transfer of the semen into the female reproductive organ, and that is called as the copulatory organ. Let us understand diagrammatically. So as already stated, penis is a erectile organ and it is a pendulum sort of structure. It consists of two posterolateral, can you see these are at the side present, that is called as corpora cavernosa, and exactly in the medial there is presence of corpus spongiosum. At the tip this part is comparatively swollen, so this is called as glans penis. Look at this diagram, much more clear. It's exactly from the center there is a urethra passing. There is the two structure called as corpus spongiosum, which is actually present only in the center, whereas corpora cavernosa is the posterior lateral. This portion is called as a glans penis, and the penis is covered by this extra skin that is called as foreskin or prepuce, specially meant for protection, and this two lateral flap like structure that is coming out is called as the corona. I hope this image and this explanation is clear to you all. So this is the a clear image of this male reproductive system, that is testes, epididymis, that is the vas deferens, seminal vesicle, and from here ejaculatory duct, and from there it is releasing the urethra till the tip of the penis. Whereas this is the female reproductive system. This we will be studying in the later modules. Just a glance to see and to compare the male reproductive system and the female reproductive. This is the lateral view, whereas this is the frontal view. Now we will study the histology of the testes, that is once the testes has been dissected, how does it look. The testis is externally covered by collagenous connective tissue called tunica albuginea. Outer to it there is an incomplete peritoneal covering. What do you mean by peritoneal? It's a lining of the abdomen called tunica vaginalis, and inner to it it's tunica vasculosa. Vasculosa means it is rich in the blood supply. A thin membranous and vascular layer. Fibers from tunica albuginea divide each testis into 200 to 300 testicular lobules, each with 1 to 4 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Each seminiferous tubule is internally lined by cuboidal germinal epithelial cells called spermatogonia and a few pyramidal cells called Sertoli or sustentacular cells. Let us understand all these things with the help of a diagram. See, now this is the section of the testes. It means if this is the testes, I have cut the testes along x-axis and it represents the circular structure, and this circular structure is nothing but it is the seminiferous tubule. Inside the seminiferous tubule, this is the basement membrane, and on this basement membrane there is a presence of this germinal epithelium. This seminiferous tubule that consisting of the germinal epithelium, it means it is going to germinate something. So there will be the formation of these cells, that is the primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, spermatids, and finally the sperm. So let us understand it step by step. The germinal epithelium cells undergo gametogenesis. Genesis means formation of gamete to form the spermatozoa, that is the sperm. Now if you look over here you can see the large pyramidal cells. This is called as the Sertoli cells, also called as the sustentacular cells, also called as the nurse cell. Now what is the function of the nurse? To provide the nourishment, to take care. That's what the Sertoli cells provide, nourishment or nutrition to the developing sperms. Various stages of spermatogenesis can be seen. The innermost, that is the lowermost. If you talk about the lowermost, it is spermatogonial diploid. Then comes the primary spermatocyte, then comes the secondary spermatocyte, finally the spermatids and sperms. The interstitial or Leydig cells, that is the cells present between the two seminiferous tubule. They secrete the male hormone androgen or testosterone. So this is about the TS of the seminiferous, or you can say TS of the testes. Under the microscope, this is how the TS of the testes actually looks. This is all the complete seminiferous tubule, and in here you can see the small cells and finally the development of the sperm. More clear view. This is the seminiferous tubule, germinal epithelium, primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, spermatids, and finally the sperm. These are the Sertoli or nurse cells. These are the Leydig cells, or you can say interstitial cell producing the hormone testosterone. I hope this TS of testes is very clear to you all, and this is very important structure also. Accessory ducts. Now accessory ducts are those ducts which are actually helping the main reproductive system. They are actually helping all those things. It includes retor testes, vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, and urethra. All the seminiferous tubule of testes at the posterior, it forms a network of tubule called retor testes. Retor itself means network. Look here. So if this is the testes and you are taking the section along y-axis, internally you can see the lobule, that is the compartment, and this lobule is separated by the septum. Inside this septum there is presence of this convoluted structure which is called as seminiferous tubule. So last slide what we studied was actually the seminiferous tubule in which the production of sperm takes place. These seminiferous tubules join to form the retor testes. These retor testes join again to form the vas deferentia. This structure, this one, is actually called as vas efferentia. The structure, the spelling is here, vasa efferentia. So from seminiferous tubule, sperm is collected by retor testes. From retor testes, it is collected by the vasa efferentia. From vasa efferentia, then it goes to the epididymis for the maturation, and finally it is connected to the vas deferens. And this is the spermatic cord. I hope this picture has given you a clear idea about where is retor testes present and where is this vasa efferentia. 12 to 20 fine tubules arising from retor testes or vasa efferentia. They carry the sperm from testes and open into epididymis. It is a long and highly coiled tube which is differentiated into upper caput, middle corpus, and lower chorda epididymis. The epididymis is actually having the three structures. The sperm undergo maturation in epididymis. The sperm which is formed in the testes is not that matured. So the maturation takes place in this epididymis. Now if you talk about this epididymis, the epididymis is actually having three parts or three structures. The head portion which is called as caput, the middle called as corpus, and the tail called as chorda. So caput epididymis, corpus, that is the body epididymis, and the cauda, that is the tail epididymis. Posteriorly, it leads into vas deferens. Finally, the epididymis is connected to this vas deferens, which travels up to abdominal cavity, loop over the ureter. Ureter is connected with the structure of urinary bladder to open into the urethra, and before doing so, it is joining with the duct of seminal vesicle and the ejaculatory duct. Do you know the presence of peritoneal covering around the testes is an indication of abdominal origin, because initially the testis is present inside the male child abdomen and then slowly and steadily it descends down. The testes are suspended in the scrotum via spermatic cord. Testosterone hormone stimulates the descendant of testes and the fibromuscular band called gubernaculum in the scrotum. In some males, a loop of intestine may pass through inguinal canal into scrotum and cause a condition called inguinal hernia. If you see, this is the intestine, and this intestine actually crosses this inguinal canal and it reaches to this pelvic cavity, and because of which there is a push of this testes, and because of this what causes, there is a cause of the inguinal hernia. Hernia is something that the intestine is losing its position. Either it can pierce into the diaphragm, that is chest, or it can even pierce through the, you can say, into this inguinal canal, giving a lot pressure in this testes. So this is called as the inguinal hernia. And the only treatment suggestive to this inguinal hernia is the surgery. Let's see how much you have understood. I hope you all have focused well on this module. It's now the time for you all to test your brain. Your very first question is, name the male gonads. Testes are the male gonads. What is cryptorchidism? You can take your time, pause your video, write down the answer. Failure of descending of testes in the scrotal sac is called cryptorchidism. Fill in the blanks. Presence of beard in boys is a primary sex organ, secondary sexual character, secondary sex organ, or primary sexual character. It is secondary sexual character. Your next question. Name the cell that secretes androgen. It is Leydig cells that secretes androgen, that is the testosterone. Where does maturation of sperm takes place? Maturation of sperm takes place in epididymis. Last question. Which cells provides nourishment to the developing sperms? If you have read this module and gone through this module, you would be able to answer these questions. It is Sertoli cells or nerve cells that provides nourishment. Assignment. You will write the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction and explain the structure of testes, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct and penis, and explain in detail the structure of histology of testes with appropriate diagram. Make sure you write these questions very properly and the answers in a caption format, and please do your practice of the diagram as well. I hope this module was helpful to you all. Thank you for attending this module. We'll again come back with the next module of this chapter, that is human reproduction. Thank you.